What's going on, guys? We're going to get into the draft. Let's get into it. So, hey, if your name is Keith, I do Black Quarterback Series, and today we got the NFL draft. We got some spectacular rookies finna grace us with their presence on the field this year, and a lot of them are guys that we cover. I'm gonna cover all the I'm gonna cover all the quarterbacks, but obviously I'm going to depth more about our guys. But so let's get it started. So let me start by saying, um, I watched I am athlete. The Pivot podcast. I watched the Pivot podcast at work a couple days ago. And the Caleb Williams one. I was thoroughly impressed with Caleb's ability, or not ability, but his adultness, right? And so in my video about Caleb Williams, I said I don't know if he has enough basketball character. I was wrong. I was wrong. From what I've seen in that interview and just that interview all the way through and learning about his life more and everything, I shouldn't have made those assumptions about Caleb. I'm still not a huge fan of the painting the nails thing. I just don't think that's, But we have to see. Just from the man I see, it looks like he's gonna be good, and he's gonna be that dude. So I apologize to Caleb for that. It remains to be seen. So while we're talking about Caleb, let's talk about the number one overall pick. So the number one overall pick is Caleb Williams from USC. Excellent rookie. Patrick Mahomes comparisons. I forgot what the comparison was on NFL.com that I went through last time we were talking about Caleb, but most people call him Patrick Mahomes, right? So the ability is there. The reports that he don't play well in structure, and all that. But his receiving core is so talented already. Keenan Allen, a couple more guys that I can't think about. And then they ended up going to get Romo Odunze from, if I'm not mistaken, Washington, I'm mistaken. Everybody's name and face will be up on the screen. But for them to already have a talented room and then to go get Caleb more talent on the outside, as well as a good running back, and they're going to have to rebuild that offensive line. But as far as all the skill positions, Caleb is set up to succeed. And now you talk about that division where you got Jordan Love, Caleb Williams, Jared Goff, and I'm missing a guy. And JJ McCarthy. Excuse me. Let me know how you pronounce the guys. I recorded this and just completely forgot to pronounce it. So you have all those guys in the same division. We'll get to JJ a little later. He has a chance to dethrone Detroit in that division and be the top dog. So, but I do expect him to be good. There's not much to really even talk about in this pick because we all knew it was going to happen. So, also with the next pick, we all pretty much knew it was going to happen, but it was speculation that it might not. Jaden Daniels out of LSU. So, to me, he's Lamar Jackson Jr. It's funny enough because he's going to be playing in that DMV area with Lamar, and there's no better place for me, honestly. There's no better place for him to go than Washington. The speculated that Drake might go here, but I didn't expect that at all. So Washington was ranked 24th in passing yards and 27th in rushing yards, with receivers like Terry McLaurin and Curtis Samuels and running back Brian Robinson. These are good targets. These are really good pieces. It's not Chicago's pieces, but these are really good pieces to come into, especially as a rookie. But he needs to build more weight. He needs to bulk up like Lamar did. I see his career having a Lamar Jackson type trajectory if he can. I'm not gonna say develop his passer, but if he can just continue to learn and grow. Jaden Daniels is the guy that Washington needs. They need a guy like him that's built of that Lamar ilk. Lamar's his favorite player, so I'm looking forward to seeing what that offense turns into and everything that's going on there. Washington is going to be interesting to watch. And so number 3, Drake May. We pretty much knew they were taking Drake May. It's New England. So there are some guys on the broadcast. I think this was NFL Network talking about that he needs to sit his first year, listen behind Jacoby Brissett, and just learn. I doubt that's going to be a thing. I think Drake May is going to beat Jacoby Brissett as a starter in the preseason. I love Jacoby, but Jacoby is not he's not the future. So I don't know. Only it remains to be seen, but I think he'll be a starter week 1. And so we're going to number 4, a guy that I've been waiting to get to the NFL. Didn't know that he'd be on one of my teams that I'm covering. Marvin Harrison Jr., he gets to go play with Kyler Murray, and Kyler Murray gets his number 1 receiver. So we expected Marvin Harrison to be box office. We're all expecting him to be box office. We expect him to be a top 10 receiver within the next 5 years, maybe the receiver. And playing with a guy like Kyler Murray, if he can stay healthy, he has a chance to make a Pro Bowl his first year. I think Kyler Murray, if he stays healthy, has a chance to be in MVP conversation this year. I'm not really sure how their offense looks. I kind of stopped watching them towards the end of the season. But I do know that this team fights to the bitter end. This team fights to the bitter end, and I expect for them to win a lot of games next year that they really should not win. So I'm happy that Marvin gets to go play for a good quarterback, and Kyler Murray gets a good receiver. And so the craziest part of all this is Michael Penix Jr. going to Atlanta. Now, I'm going to give you the pros, and I'm going to give you the cons of that. So the pros of, hey, we got a backup plan. If Michael Penix beats him out, we got a guy for the foreseeable future. But the negatives is, why not just draft him and not pay Kurt all that guaranteed money? There's no point of getting Kurt if you're just going to draft Michael Penix. And Michael Penix is going to be damn near 30-something before he gets to start if we do the Green Bay method. So, like, I'm not – it's just the more I sit on it and more I look at it from Thursday to now, it wasn't the best pick at all. You had way more needs, defensive needs to address there. You decided to pick Michael Penix, and it might end up working for the best because they might be able to flip that, Kirk or him. You know what I mean? So, but it's not Madden. Like, you can't just draft somebody just to flip them and think that you're going to get the same amount back. So, Atlanta being Atlanta, Nick Wright said this is a move for them just to not be awful. And now I don't agree wholeheartedly with that, but it do seem very odd that you guys would do that, considering you have all these other holes that you need to fill into. And you're not going to have an 8th pick next year because Kurt's going to have you in the playoffs. So, I don't know. Atlanta being stupid. And so, J.J. McCaffrey goes number 10 to the Vikings. So, I honestly think if he plays any resemblance of good next year, he'll be Rookie of the Year. Because out of everybody, he has the best receiver out of all the young guys. So, don't be surprised if J.J. McCaffrey ends up winning Rookie of the Year and looking really, really good. Now, it's said that he didn't have to do a lot at Michigan, and Michigan was a very run-based team that all he did is just not F it up, so to speak. But then when he was forced to make plays, he could make the plays. So, the talent is there. Did not see it at Michigan unless he needed it, and then he showed it. So, I always thought he should have went back to Michigan, but his coach leaving and his whole team leaving, I don't think I'd have stayed in Michigan either, but it would have served him right to go back to Michigan. Because if he did go back, he'd probably be the number 1 pick next year. So, but he went to a great situation. I don't see him being terrible. He will not be terrible. I can bet money on that. JJ will not be awful. When you got receivers on the outside like that, and just a good Vikings organization, I don't think he'll be terrible. He'll be fine. I think he'll be perfectly fine. And so a couple other things, and then I'm gonna end it off with me venting about Baltimore and not doing anything. So at the 171st pick and the 150th pick, both in the 5th round, Jordan Travis goes to the Jets and Spencer Rattler goes to New Orleans. Now we're gonna start with Jordan, or we start with Spencer. So Spencer Rattler goes to New Orleans after having a less than great college career after coming into college football without the hype, right? And so I think he's going to be good in New Orleans. I think they're kind of tired of Derek Carr. So I think they're going to eventually move on from Derek and put Spencer in. If by Thanksgiving, if they only have 1 or 2 wins by Thanksgiving, expect Spencer to be in there. If he doesn't outright beat Derek Carr for the starting spot. So I expect to see both of these guys play at some point this year. Now, Jordan Travis' situation is a little different. He's behind the all-time great. You know what I mean? So he's behind the all-time great. And I hate to say it, knock on wood, but Aaron Rodgers is 40 years old and he's more apt to get hurt than not get hurt. So this way, if Aaron Rodgers do get hurt, you get a guy that's been from a winning program, probably would have been in the playoff if he didn't get hurt. So, um, both good picks. Both good picks. Good value at the fifth round. In the fifth round, and I'm looking forward to seeing both of these guys play at some point this year. I expect both of them. Unfortunately for the Jets, I expect both of them to be starting at some point this season. Okay, so we're going to talk about Baltimore real quick. Obviously, they don't have a rookie, but this is my. I have to defend about Baltimore. So they got Rodgers, Rosengarten, and then Tez Walker. I'm not mad at the Tez Walker pick. I'm not. You got another speedster, 6'1". Go up and get it. Didn't have a lot of reps at North Carolina because of some stuff. Not no off the field stuff, but just he transferred, had to sit. It was just a lot of BS, right? So I'm not mad at Tez Walker for that. It's not his fault. But my thing is when you take Nate Wiggins in the first round instead of a wide receiver, and I get that you need to revamp your defense. I definitely understand that you need to revamp your defense and rebuild that Mike McDonald defense that essentially left. So I get all that. But you have to take care of your quarterback first. You can do the defense later. Nate Wiggins would have been there later. Now, I don't know what receiver was on the board, but I just always think you need to take care of your cash cow, and Lamar's your cash cow. So it remains to be seen. Tess Walker I think he's going to be good. He's going to be decent. Steve Smith speaks glowingly of him. So hopefully it turns out well. I'm not wishing nothing. I hope all these guys in there. I hope this is one of the greatest classes ever. I hope all these guys are successful. But I don't know. I just feel like there was better there than Nate Wiggins. A cornerback, like we're kind of tired of that. We need to transition into more offensive. I don't know. I don't know. So let me know what you guys think. Did you guys enjoy the draft? Who did your team get? Do you think Chicago is going to be successful? Who's going to be the bust in this draft? Because inevitably somebody's going to bust out. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section, and I'll talk to you later on in the week. Peace. They took Michael Penix. Like, that's crazy.